What are you going to do on Culpeper, Brandon? See her. What are we going to do on Culpeper?
Judge, my understanding is the probation and the state are agreement for me to continue with the higher the face.
It's my choice.
Well, that's right, yes, Judge. Wasn't trying to be presumptuous, but that's the discussions we had. He,
No, you're right.
he showed up at daily.
Right.
He had talked to either Lacey or Ellie or one of the bailiffs involved. He just had the wrong time. It was. That's what it was.
Two cases are now called. The state of Texas versus Jacoby Fleming. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You were here with your attorney, Mr. Turk, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive formal readings of 24 CR 1565 and 24 CR 1892? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Judge.
In summary, cause number 24 CR 1565, that indictment alleges that on or about June 13th, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the second-degree felony of robbery. Do you understand what you're charged with there?
Yes, sir.
We're looking at, if convicted, no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed for a second-degree felony. Do you understand what you are facing?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached in your case. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $500. Is there any restitution?
No, Your Honor.
Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? That's a question.
Yes, sir.
Hold that one in abeyance for just a second and go. The next case, which is 24 CR 1892. In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about July 31st, 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of harassment of a public servant. And that is, while confined in the county jail, you harassed another person by, it looks like, spitting upon that person. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
This is a third-degree felony, which means if convicted, you face no more than 10 years in prison or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended and you would be placed on regular probation, similar to the previous case. And those two cases would run concurrently. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead in this case? Guilty or not guilty? I'm sorry.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
No.
These pads are not working any faster than they did before the holiday. I show you what's marked in each of these cases as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign those documents? In each case voluntarily, understand them, discuss them with your attorney, or the contents are incorrect?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence
No objection.
without objection admitted. And for each of these cases, This all shows you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You understand what you're charged with. The indictments have been read to you. You've read them. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses, totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer in each of these cases. So help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's
And
Exhibit
Judge,
1 is made part of the record in each case. Go ahead.
with regard to the competency,
I'm about to
okay,
make
okay, I was
comments.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In each of these cases, we have received uh, information by letters dated December 2nd, 2025 for each of these cases that the defendant was admitted to the University of Texas Health Sciences Center at Houston based upon Article 46B.073 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure regarding a finding of non-competence to stand trial on these two cases. And after medication and medical reevaluation and treatment, it is deemed by the University of Texas Health Sciences Center in Houston, the treating entity of this defendant, that the defendant is now competent to stand trial. And these reports, which the court will refer to as Court's Exhibit 1 in each of these cases, will be made a part of the record for all purposes. Any objection by the parties?
None from the state, Judge.
They made a part in each of these two cases. And again, pre-sentence reports are waived.
Yes, Judge.
All right. In each of these cases, the court is going to find that the defendant has pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty.
Yes, sir.
There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here in each of these cases to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each of these cases. Again, the 1565, the second degree felony of robbery, and in 1892, third degree felony of harassment of a public servant. You're found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each case. I'm following these agreements. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years in each case to run concurrently. Those sentences of confinement shall be suspended. You are placed on regular probation for 10 years in each case to run concurrently. There will be terms and conditions of probation that you will follow. The probation officer is going to go over those with you. Make sure you follow those. If you fail, the probation could be revoked. You could then be sentenced to no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison. So it's important you follow those. Do you understand what has happened today, sir?
Yes, I see here right now.
Yep. You're going to go see this person. I'm going to sign these documents and then you will begin probation. Yes.
I'll do it.
We'll make sure I did the correct paper. It's 4 years TVC.
Are we getting new pads soon? Because
I'll call and get an update today. So
I'm
you
writing
just
and
don't
it
know.
takes about, I write something and it takes about 10 seconds for it to show up.
I understand.
He has the same issues with me.
One case, fine. All right, 25 CR 1356 is called. State of Texas versus Jack Marvin McAllister. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present. With your attorney, Mr. Turk, and the state's attorney, does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Judge.
What are we going on? Which,
I think you have to go in off.
all three paragraphs?
To get them forward.
All right.
We have about two.
In summary, paragraph 1 alleges that on or about May 23rd, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the offense of tampering with an electronic monitoring device, a state jail felony. Do you understand what you're charged with here? Paragraph 2 goes on to allege that you, on August 9th, 2015, in the 29th District Court of Palo Pinto County, Texas, you were convicted of the felony of online solicitation of a minor. And it says online solicitation, minor sex conduct, second degree. On August 9th, 2015, and cause number 15641. Do you understand what you're charged with in that? Paragraph 3 goes on to allege that after that offense, online solicitation of a minor, in paragraph 2 was final. It states that you committed the felony of failing to comply with sex offender registration duties, a third degree felony, and were finally convicted of that offense on August 21st, 2021, out of the 294th District Court of Van Zant County, Texas. Do you understand what you're charged with in paragraph 3? Okay, so being found guilty and true beyond a reasonable doubt to paragraphs 2 and 3, and guilty of paragraph 1, constitutes a state jail felony, punished though as though it were a second degree felony, right? I'm not sure this is right here. Because there needs to be something.
I don't like this.
It's got the range of punishment, which is for a second degree felony, but that's not.
Well, up in
Accurate.
the corner, I put it, I had noted it was enhanced to a second degree too.
Where's that?
Up in the right hand corner, Judge. Upper right hand corner.
Where,
I'm sorry, let me know.
this says,
Enhanced second 2 to 20. I was trying to.
ain't gonna do it.
Okay. Like I said, Judge, I didn't
The
like.
word enhanced is not in there, and it's in H2 2-20, which doesn't give anybody. So.
Like I was saying, the forms, I don't think those forms when it comes to this because it doesn't have the option to put anything else in there. So I was trying to put it in that upper hand corner so it was legible
It's nice and simple for everybody else.
I know, that's why so that's what I was saying.
Mhm.
Well, you remember that.
Hopefully we'll get with these, they can change them. Get a little, have a little thing somewhere you can notice.
And other,
It's like the people see. I know the station. Still here. Business.
Okay, so again, you were looking at a state jail felony, but it is enhanced for punishment purposes as though it were a second degree felony, which is no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement in prison and a fine up to $10,000. Do you understand? An agreement's been reached where you would be sentenced to 4 years in prison. Is that your understanding of the agreement? If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand? So how do you plead to paragraph 1 alleging this state jail felony of tampering with electronic monitoring device? Guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? Paragraph 2, this prior conviction alleging on August 9th, 2015 in the 29th District Court of Palo Pinto County, Texas, you were convicted of online solicitation of a minor, second degree felony. Is that true and correct as it is alleged? Yes. And are you pleading true and correct to that voluntarily and because it is true? Yes. And finally, paragraph 3, which alleges that after that online solicitation of a minor, second degree felony, in paragraph 2 was final, you committed another offense of failing to comply with sex offender duty registration and third degree felony. You were finally convicted of that on August 24th, 2021 in the 294th District Court of Van Zandt County, Texas. Is that true and correct as it is alleged? And are you pleading true and correct to that voluntarily and because it is true? All right. Pre-sentence report, Wayne?
Yes, Judge.
All right. If nothing further, I'm going to follow this agreement and find, sir, that you have pleaded guilty to paragraph 1, a state jail felony, and truth to paragraphs 2 and 3, representing prior convictions committed and convicted in sequence, which makes this state jail felony punishable as though it were a second degree felony. And you were looking at no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement in prison and a fine up to $10,000. That you are pleading guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 is at the top. Is that all true and correct? Did you sign that and understand its contents? State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection, it's admitted. Also, you need to sign those 2 counsel for defendant spaces. I'm going to find while he's doing that at the bottom. You are mentally competent based upon State's Exhibit 1, you are mentally competent to enter your pleas in this case. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted at the bottom to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this state jail felony and find true beyond a reasonable doubt the prior convictions as alleged in the indictment in sequence in paragraphs 2 and 3, which constitutes 7-degree punishment, 2nd-degree felony punishment. You were hereby found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and you were hereby sentenced in accordance with this agreement to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years. Do you understand what has happened, sir, today?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Anything else to add about the parties?
Nothing but the
If not, we're in recess on this case.